Ma'am, one guest.
Sir, good morning, sir.
Good morning, ma'am. Very good morning.
Yes, sir. Welcome you, sir. Welcome you, sir.
Yeah, thanks.
So they are joining, sir. Let us wait for some more time.
Yeah, exactly by 10 we'll start, ma'am. Right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh,
Yes, sir.
okay, ma'am.
Good morning, one and all present here. I welcome everyone for the day 5 of the FDP. I welcome Dr. Naveen Paulsa, Associate Professor, ISBR Business School, Bengaluru. It's a warm welcome to you, sir. We are very much pleasure and happy to hear your experiences and share for the teachers community, sir. To talk about his profile, Dr. Naveen Paul has 6 years of industry and 8 years of academic experience. He received fellowship from ICSSR MHRD for his full-time PhD work at Karnataka University. He is faculty for business analytics at ISBR College, and his previous association was with MDIM West Bengal. He is a member for Analytics Society of India, Bengaluru. He has near to 20 research publication in IBDC's corpus, UGC's care, and peer review journals. And moreover, he has completed certification courses on analytics from IIMK, Great Lakes, IIMB, to name a few. He is well versed in and he's expert with R programming and SPSS, AMOS, PLS, Power BI, and e-reviews. He has been a resource person for MDPs, FDPs, and data analytics. He has conducted more than MDP for the officials of LIC, PBS Credit, West Bengal State Electricity Distribution Company Limited. Sir, with this profile, we welcome you, sir, and virtual dice is yours, sir. You can take your session, sir, and share your experience for teachers community. Welcome, sir. We welcome you, sir. A warm welcome.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you, doctor.
Thank you, ma'am.
So, yeah, I'll just share the screen, ma'am. Ma'am, my sharing is enabled by any chance?
No, sir. No, sir.
Okay, so I'm going to say, can it be enabled?
Yes, sir, you can. Yes, sir, you can. You can share from your side, sir.
Acha. Okay. Is it visible, ma'am, by any chance?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Acha.
Yes,
sir.
Okay.
yes, sir.
Yeah. Thank you. Okay. So, very good morning to one and all. And it's like the topic which was being asked me to be presented is like AI in education. So it's like, and I also understand, there is a little bit of time crunch. So I have kept it very small, and I might finish it like before even the stipulated time also, right? So it's just that I'm here to share my thoughts, and it's like why do what I do personally think that how education can be disrupted by the overall paradigm shift that artificial intelligence as a such as an aspect is going to bring. So there are two terms here. Normally I, as a researcher, like whenever a topics come to my mind, I see them as like whether there is an independent variable and a dependent variable in that particular title. Right here we can, it's a clearly visible thing that everyone does understand that there are two variables. One is AI, that is artificial intelligence, and its influence on education. So basically education, so how does it impact altogether, right? So we can understand that. So AI is an independent and education is dependent variable. So having said this, so just a little bit of a brief walkthrough and what is AI, and probably multiple resource persons would have already discussed with you what is artificial intelligence, but just I would just want to keep it in a nutshell and a quick walkthrough on what is artificial intelligence as per my perspective. So overall, this particular diagram you would have seen that there are multiple antecedents of artificial intelligence, of which one predominant aspect is machine learning, then followed by neural networking and deep learning, which comes into picture. So these things are subset with each other, right? So AI basically means that we are training machines in such a way that they start thinking like human beings. It's an attempt, right? So it might be a myopia as such that we we think of. Just a moment. Yeah. But meanwhile, I just request others to please mute in case if it's okay. Yeah. Right. So we are basically training. Yeah, we are basically training the machines, right? So that they can mimic the activities of human beings as such, right? And one of the most happening thing, right? I am from social science. Machine learning is there. So predominantly, it is backed up with statistics as a aspect, right? Wherein there are, machine learning can be divided into supervised and unsupervised machine learning algorithms, right? But here the machines are only trained, but they don't they like, they fail to think by themselves. Okay, so that is what is happening. Then there is obviously there is neural networking, which is again it is being imbibed through the neural systems of living beings around us. And there is this deep learning there is which enables like multiple neural networks are there. So that is deep learning. If I could just request others to just mute, please. Uh, yeah,
ಆಲ್ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಜನ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದಾರೆ ನಾಳೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ.
one second.
ಮೇಡಮ್ ನೀವೇ ಮೂಟ್ பண்ணி ಅವೆಲ್ಲ ಭ್ರಮೆ.
Ma'am, if I could ask others to mute, please.
ಅಷ್ಟು ಸೀನೇ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅವ್ರು ಕೊಡಕ್ಕೆ. ಕೊಟ್ರೆ ಪರವಾಗಿಲ್ಲ.
Okay. Yeah, participants like
ಫ್ರೀ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ ಈಗ? ಡಸ್ಟರ್ ಹಂಗೆ ಮಾಯ ಆಗ್ತಾರೆ.
yeah, it would be good if you mute, ma'am.
ನನ್ನ ಡಸ್ಟರ್ ಕೂಡ ಇಲ್ಲ.
I mean, in case if the host has got that option, if you can mute.
Yes, sir.
See,
Host has the
ನನ್ನ
option
ಡಸ್ಟರ್ ಕೂಡ ಇಲ್ಲ.
to mute other participants.
Yeah, can you just ask them? Yeah, okay, okay. Thanks a lot. And sorry on their behalf to everyone that that there was a clinch. Okay, so basically AI, what is happening is there's a lot of content which is available around us that we talk about. Big data is there and all that. So basically people would be thinking big means how big it would be, right? So data anytime, for example, yesterday's small data, right, would have been a big data yesterday. For example, there was a floppy disk and there was a confinement for a floppy disk that it had some 13 KB of data only was able to. I mean, that particular data was a big data for that. Then later CD came, then DVD came. Now we have got hard disk and we are talking about terabytes. And basically any data which challenges the existing system or infrastructure that we have, right? So that is called as a big data. And in future, whatever big data is today can be a small data, right? Because the infrastructure would have been scaled that much. So basically, there are too much of content around us, predominantly text that is there. And that is where, people are talking about text analysis and sentiment analysis, right? So which is happening. So I'm just trying to set a foundation as to, education wise also, right? What is the type of the data that educationists generate? Or is that learning people who are into the learning process, they don't generate numbers, they generate a text, right? For example, a teacher, if he's there in the class, right, what type of data that the teacher generates in the class? It's predominantly the content, and based on the content of the teacher, right, we can understand the sentiment of a teacher, right? So what exactly the teacher wants to communicate, and basically vis-a-vis the content is also generated from the student side also, right? So now here AI can act as a role, right? I'm not telling that absolutely the teaching fraternity should be shut down and AI should come into the picture. No, it is just that AI can help us in bridging the gaps what are there today, right? So there are huge gaps, and what are those gaps? That also we'll just have a quick walkthrough on that, right? So there is this huge content which is there, and this content, how to assess this content? There are a pool of experts that are required to understand how to exactly structurize the content. For example, uh, people have got a wrong notion that text cannot have a proper flow, or else there cannot be a structure of a text. It's not like that. So statisticians have understood, they have cracked the code, they have understood how a text also can be put into a nice structure, and we can derive emotions out of those text. To give you a small example, there is an Ogilvy Mathers as a company which is there in India, and Piyush Pandey, who is supposed to be, the marketing wizard or advertisement wizard in India. Correct? He has built up, for example, to give you a small example, he has built brands like Lifebuoy, right? The jingle, whichever comes for the Lifebuoy, Tandur ke raksha karta hai Lifebuoy. So that jingle, Parle, Hamara Bajaj, Honda, all these companies, advertisements has been built by Piyush Pandey. And that particular person did a text analysis. Can you guess for whom? He did a Modi and Rahul Gandhi. A text analysis, a Twitter text analysis was being done, and basically the sentiment of people was being understood. For example, people were fed up of 60 years of government. That's the reason Narendra Modi ji still he talks 60 years, nothing happened. And people were expecting good days to come. That's the reason Achhe Din came into picture. So this is not a random exercise or else a random talk being depicted by our respected Prime Minister. There's a lot of analysis that has gone behind. Why am I telling this is because even in classrooms, when a teacher is trying to teach something to the class, there's a lot of text being generated, and that particular text can be assessed, and a crux of that text can be taken, and a summary can be given to the student. Vis-a-vis, same thing, students text can be assessed and it can be given to the teachers as well. Okay, so basically these experts try to build algorithms, right, and try to assess the text, and a sort of historical data is being created. Now, for example, now people hardly understand that if you write something algorithms, automatically the machine starts mimicking. No, it is only the historical evidence how things have happened in the past, and for that particular past problem, whatever solution has been depicted, based on that learning, right, machines are being fed. In future, if something a situation comes like this, please do like this, right? And then the machine starts thinking whether it is correct or wrong. Hope I'm able to connect with you. For example, if you go to a bank, right, if you go to a bank, there is a possibility that if I ask for a loan, they might give a loan or they might not give a loan. What are the historic data of mine? For example, CIBIL score is there, my age, my marital status, geographical location, how much is my income, all these parameters put together, right? If I feed that parameters, right, automatically the software will tell whether to give loan or not to give. How that software is able to tell? It's based on the historic data, right? So basically, a lot of historic data and an empirical evidence is there, and based on that evidence, the machines will able to mimic that. And to do that, those things, educationist and the IT sector as such has got a predominant role to play. Okay, yes. Now, education system overall, if you see, now as I told, AI is an independent variable here, and the dependent variable is our education system. So basically, we have just have a you know overview of AI as such. What exactly AI is? Now, education system, right? Why are we so concerned about education system? What exactly it is, right? So education system is undoubtedly the backbone of any nation. For example, there are here 10 nations you can see, and each and every individual on this planet, right, given an opportunity, would like to go to these places, right? And in case if your children are being given an opportunity to study in these particular countries, we will never shy away to do so. Why? Because the education system is very good. Okay, yeah, that is that. So this is a just of, and there are multiple rankings. So by large, if you say top 20 countries, the same countries will repeat again. Only the rankings, one or two places here and there, it would shuffle. That's it. Okay. So first, obviously, people tell, France comes first sometimes. People sometimes say Denmark education system is good. It all depends on the type of research and what exactly they're talking about. So by large, these are the countries which are very good in terms of disseminating education to its pupil. Okay. So here, this is the education system. And as per the report of UNESCO, right, United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization by large, okay, the world education's revenue, right, in 2022, 2023 data is not available. So 2020 two data as such, it is around rupees 52,511 crores. It is not the market size. It is overall revenue we are talking about from the education sector. Okay. Now, amidst all this, we Indians, where are we? So predominantly, our place was way low, but over a period of time, Indian education system has grown phenomenally, right? And it is creating a lot of buzz around the nation. So we stand 18th now as per this particular data, okay, which is there. And revenue, if you talk about Indian education system revenue, it is around 460 crores. And as a country, we are never running behind the education system's revenue as such. We want the overall size, that you can call it as a turnover, to be huge, but we are not concerned about revenue as such. So overall, if you see, compared to the global revenue, ours is only like less than 1% or near to 1%, that we can say. Now, AI, what is the contribution of AI and what is it is looking through, right? Now, all the software industries are trying to build in an infrastructure or trying to bring an infrastructure which can assist this education system, and it can fine tune it very well. Why AI if is much required in education system is because there's no uniformity. There's no uniformity. For example, one uh, school that I can talk about where there is uniformity is Kendriya Vidyalaya that we talk about, right? Wherein in Bangalore, in second standard, whatever is been taught today, in Delhi also in second standard, same concept with same examples has been taught. That is the standardized education that they give. But other all institutions are not able to do that, right? Okay, so basically there is a disparity, and we always have seen in social media how some of the teachers who are there, right, and who are not fit for their education, okay, and they disseminate wrong things to the students. Such things can be overcome, or as you can see that, right, even in India, if you see the extent of education is highest in Kerala, right? Then literates, then there is a disparity which is there across. What am I trying to tell you is all this disparity which is there in the education system would for sure be mitigated by AI, advent of AI. Okay, so basically there is an essence of uniformity that would be brought in the education system through artificial intelligence. So that is there. Okay, and how big would be the market? In just by the end of this year, it is equivalent to the revenue what is being generated worldwide. Okay, near to 50,000 crores. Okay, I have converted it into rupees. Okay, so this is how the AI market is going to be in education sector altogether. So this particular report is being generated by UNESCO. Okay, so that means like multiple questions might come in our thought process. So these are some of the top, like only top three questions that I have considered. How can AI be leveraged to enhance education? Right? People, there's a wrong notion that AI is a threat, right, for the education system. It will just it will come and it will convert all the student fraternity as machines, and it will eat away all the jobs of the educationist, and the academic overall as an ecosystem it is going to change. But trust me, There are multiple researches which have happened, and there are developed or else developing countries which are, you know, rigorously implementing AI, and nothing of this sort has been observed. That, you know, it is eating jobs and all that. Okay, it is only upskilling or reskilling, right? The people around that particular education system. Okay, so if someone is reluctant to be skilled, then there is a problem. Okay, if that person is not reluctant to adopt to the fast moving pace, right, then there is no issue. For example, a report by LinkedIn that, you know, the most sought out jobs in India today currently is, you know, predominantly it relates to IT. And IT as a sector, how it is, every 5 years, you know, a software that you are been trying to learn, it becomes obsolete. For example, me as such also, I am into business analytics. So initially they told, you know, the days when we started, right, Excel and SPSS you have to, you know, understand thoroughly. We did that. Then gone are the days, like, you know, SPSS and Excel become a little bit I mean, they are there in the market, but no much of requirement is there from the recruiters. Then they told you should understand programming language, you should understand Java, you should understand C++, you should understand SQL. So that is how we kept on learning. Then we learn R also. Now we have learned Python also. So it's like that. So every 5 years, every 10 years, a new software comes in and we are forced to learn those softwares. End of the day, the results are being retrieved. For example, a result of correlation analysis, right? What is retrieved in Excel, right? It is not the same what is retrieved in R. Why? End of the day, these softwares have been fed with formulas, and the formulas, what it been, for example, the 90% of our syllabus, Carl Pearson and Fishers, these are these two statisticians. They cover our 90% of the syllabus in statistics, right? And but apart from them, there are multiple formulas. So these softwares are equipped with advanced formulas, and they give us more robust output that it is there. Why am I trying to tell you this is because there is a paradigm shift in the learning process also, which has been required, right? If I am a marketing faculty, I have to enhance myself from marketing to marketing analytics. I have to get into those footholds. If any of the MBA, uh, education, I mean, teachers are there, right? For example, there is a concept of segmentation. Segmentation as a concept, right, can be linked to a concept of analytics called as cluster analysis. So these put together, you know, it's a phenomenally wonderful concept that comes into picture. And in pragmatic situation, even the industry individuals also need such a type of activities wherein students are doing live projects, right, and trying to depict these sort of exercises in their projects, that they have taken sample they have collected the data, and they're trying to convert and trying to showcase the concept of segmentation through algorithms and making it as a cluster analysis as a concept, which is more rational, right? Which is more rational. For example, if traditionally if we asked to do segmentation, I would do based on geographical location, I would do based on gender, right? This is the how segmentation we used to do. But no, we cannot do segmentation like that. Cluster analysis is more robust. Okay, that happens. Okay, so just an example I have given to you. Then obviously there is this ethical issues, right? People are concerned about. That does not mean it is totally ethical now. So this is again a debatable topic, that, you know, ethical issues will come into picture if AI comes into, like, you know, existence. So do you mean that today we are 100% ethically disseminating knowledge to our students across India? So that is again debatable, right? Yes. And how can education prepare humans to live and work with AI? This is also a sort of a question. Why? Because now a company like Amazon, for example, a company like Amazon has introduced gloves to its workers, wherein it has got sensors. And literally, human beings have got no role to play. I'm not joking, it's a fact. For example, in their warehouses, 70% of the work is done by the bots, robots, right? And on top of that, humans who are there, they have been given gloves. And those gloves are being filled with algorithms. And automatically, these gloves vibrate and pull the hands of the people. So basically, he is a human being, but controlled by AI. So he is supposed to, rationally take the product, create an angle, and keep it in a right place. And there also seconds is being calculated. Each and every second is important for AI. For example, if you have seen a movie called as The Founder, right? McDonald's. How how the layout of McDonald's was being developed and how they practiced quick delivery in a basketball court, right? So that is one small example that is there. And today Amazon is practicing in its warehouses. And lead time that we talk about, that we are overcoming, like, there is a lot of time that goes waste. There's a Pareto principle that comes into picture, 80-20 rule. So 20% of our productive time results into 80% of results what we are having. That means 80% of time we are wasting, right? So AI will help us in reducing these waste times. Okay. Yeah. So now, how can AI be leveraged to enhance education? For example, there are broadly three stakeholders in this education system. One is obviously the management that comes into picture, overall management, right? If there is a pyramid, the top, okay, the topmost management comes into the picture. Then there is a huge student fraternity which comes into picture, and then there are the teachers who are there. By large, these are the stakeholders, right? Yes. So what will be improved if AI comes into picture, right? So education management, right? They can be able to practice very good things. For example, in their day-to-day activities, they are aloof of things what is being practiced by other education institutions. As I told, there has to be uniformity. A sense of uniformity can be brought by this. A best practice by an institution, right? It can be made available to other institutions also. Yes, there are these accreditation institutions which are there. For example, we have got NAC, we have got this uh, uh, you know Euclid, we have got AACSB, right? And we have got AMBA. All these accrediting institutions are there, but somewhere they lack in creating the uniformity in the systems, right? So basically, AI for sure will assist in bringing uniformity in systems and processes, right? Why? Because systems and processes are the only thing which can make or break any business or is any ecosystem, right? Process is there. Process is the core thing which comes into picture. Okay, a uniform process can be developed through AI in the education system. Okay, this is what our management can understand. Okay, who are basically the job creators in private sector and public sector and government sector. Okay, yes. Then comes the our learning and assessment. What happens with our students? Obviously it will be enhanced, right? The overall learning process. Now just imagine our situation when we were studying and there was no Google. How much we used to struggle to get content from books. We used to run through go through libraries, sit there, search. 2 to 3 hours it used to just fly away to know which is the right content to study, right? To what is the right content to decide, that itself it used to take a lot of time. Today, thanks to Google, it is not there. Thanks to ChatGPT, it is not there. Our students are, equipped with such powerful tools that they can compare multiple text and decide which is right and which is wrong. That is where, people fight in Quora, right? Whatever was being told by, say, for example, Maslow's hierarchical theory, it's absolutely wrong. And some other person will come with some other, a need cannot be hierarchical. So there's a debate which goes into picture, which nowadays the students are doing. In our days, we were never even thinking like that. So because of something like an IoT, it has come into picture. People are able to do now just by the AI which comes into picture. Then even the learning experience for students, it is going to be enhanced. Their assessment, they can assess their own self, right? So that is going to be enhanced. And obviously teachers will be empowered, right? For sure. For example, in our class there are 60 students, right? Or else 30-35 students. Each and every student at a stretch I cannot concentrate. For example, if I'm moving towards the board, who is yawning, who is not attentive, I'll not be able to make out in within a glimpse of a second. No, that cannot be done, right? But AI will help us. Why am I telling this, right? On based on what am I telling this? Okay, so we will be able to have in-depth understanding of our students. For example, students are, if you think from a overall perspective, they are our customers, and a customer satisfaction is our high priority. If they are happy, then we are happy, right? And if they are, learning skill is enhanced, even our learning curve also goes up, right? So AI will help us in doing that. Okay, for example, it will help us in developing the pedagogy as such, overall system. Gone are the days that, I'm going to say still it has been practiced, I'm not telling that, but in upcoming future, learning process will not be confined to the classrooms by large. It will be always driven to the practical aspects, project based learning which will come into picture. For each and everything there will be a practical project. Okay, and the 70 percentage of the courses or evaluations will not happen through examinations. No, and it should not happen. Now good institutions in India, I'm not telling it is a wrong thing, but I'm not undermining other evaluation process also. One of the best practices which are done in IIMs and IITs is 70 percentage of the marks it is being given for the overall 1 year activity which is happening, or is a particular semester. How that particular person has performed in the class, what is his participation level, right? And what is his overall learning curve in the class test, how much he has performed. 70 to 80 percentage marks is given based on this. And the final examination you can conduct, you might not conduct, right? But based on that, you are grading the student, right? So overall, it is not that last milestone which is their exam that is determining the overall worth of a student. No, it is overall his performance in that particular semester. So that is what has been practiced today in some of the top institutions. Now coming to, that we might think that AI is, it's very far, right? We always compare ourselves with China, right? And China is one such country which has ran like Usain Bolt. I know, we don't have good neighbor relationships, right, with China, and even there are multiple thoughts which goes into picture, but there are some good things that can be learned from them, right? For example, China has already started to adopt AI in their education system. So there's just 5 to 6 minutes of video. I request you guys to just have a look at this. Okay, so however it will not consume much of the time. Okay, so this YouTube you are able to see by any chance?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay, thank you. So I'll just play this video. It's for 5 minutes. You can just have a look. Yeah, I hope that this particular video was of some assist, right? For example, China is crazy behind AI, and it is left, right, center. It is implementing AI in all the cross-functional sectors of the economy. So education is one such sector, and it is develop. I'm going to say bringing in AI with lot of rigor, and you can see that sometimes we feel that the difference of a good student and an average student is probably the attention span. And we could have clearly seen in the AI that in this particular video that students are forced to concentrate, right, in the schools. Okay, so they are not I'm going to say they are becoming more receptive, right? So by eventually doing that, they can reach the extra mile. Okay, so that is being enabled in this particular situation. So that's our neighboring countries practicing. So it is not too far behind. The concepts of, for example, what we as and teachers have to understand is the nuances of statistics or as the analysis. For example, you could see that the teacher is open. I'm going to say she's able to see a dashboard. And in case if a teacher doesn't know how to read a dashboard, right, then it becomes a problem. So these are the skill set which has been required. If someone is telling that AI is not good, because that also means that that person is reluctant to learn new things. That is how it has been perceived. I might be very much, I'm not so blunt in this thing, but that might be a fact, correct? So it's like that. Okay. So the interactive dashboard, and say for example, there's a normal distribution curve happening in each and every class, which is there, right? There are outliers and there are people who follow a mean, right, and average. Okay, so that happens, right? Okay. So now, if you see a SWOT analysis, a quick run through, what are the strengths of the AI? In another just 5 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes, I'll just wrap it up. Okay. Yeah. So strength, if you see, there's a lot of personalized, customized learning that happens. What exactly? Each and every individual is different, and their way of learning is different. AI helps in customizing that learning process, right? For example, in a chemistry lab, if you are just writing the formulas and telling if you mix this with this will happen. But many of the students would be interested to touch and feel those elements. What is that exactly? And with the right combination, what can happen? Or is in a physics class. Okay, so what exactly it is, or is in a botany or biological classes, right? How plants, trees, right, and all these things. People want to feel people, and some students would be there that they travel and then they learn. Okay, so those things also can be happen, right? And a lot of automation will happen, right? And this is the strength, like automatically everything is happen. We as a human beings might be fatigued, but machines will never be fatigued, right? So they will be able to receive the information from the first hour till the 12th hour in the similar pace, right? So that will happen, right? And there is a real time feedback which is been enabled, right? And students can't argue with us that your feedback is wrong, because now numbers speaks, right? And in case if people are not speaking with numbers, then it becomes an opinion, right? So, and there is only value for numbers, trust me. And by the advent of AI, lot of numbers will be generated, right? And intelligent tutoring systems will come into picture. New ways will come into picture. These are the strengths, and enhance accessibility that will happen. So weakness, what it might be, obviously, right, it involves huge cost. For example, when I was in industry, right, and our salesmen were forced to use tablets. Tablets means not the one which we eat. It's like handheld devices. So traditionally, they used to book orders, retail orders. They used to book through a book that they used to write. What do you want, sir? For example, I was in Horlicks as a company in Bangalore, right? So they used to tell, okay, you need Horlicks 500 grams, you need Horlicks 200 grams. They used to write it by hand. Then our sales individuals were being forced to use handheld devices, because that will consume paper. But handheld devices, each and every handheld devices was costing 1.5 lakh rupees. So a distributor had to make an investment. In case if you want to be with the crowd, or else if you want to go ahead with the world, you have to loosen your pockets. So institutions who are not loosening their pockets, they'll be left behind. Teaching fraternity who are reluctant to spend and learn new things, they'll be left behind. So that is the major weakness. And in a developing country like India, cost becomes a major weakness that it is there. Okay, yeah. Then lack of human interactions. It is quite evident because numbers are happening, and you could see their students are being treated like machines. Okay, that will happen. That is one weakness it will come into picture. Then there are these technical challenges, right? So just imagine if the Wi-Fi goes off, then there is no creation of data. So one technical clinch always it would be there. So there has to be an alternate backup, right? And one point which I was like emphasizing, lack of teacher training, which teachers are there in the education system, right? How far they could be trained, and or else who is going to train the trainer should happen, right? Whether that particular trainer is efficient enough, because this is the first level of iteration that is happening. For the first time it is happening, right? If it happens, this is the first generation that it is going to be tested with, right? And who is supposed to train? Is he proficient to be trained? We never know, right? That these are the things, right? Ethical concerns are there, right? Are we really for example, a student is not, if he is dozing, that means he's not paying attention. If it is opening his eyes, that means he's paying attention. But really, is he paying the attention? Are we going to an extent in understanding the deep inside, entering into human brains? That is not right, right? Because there is no essence of privacy which remains into picture. Okay. Then what are the opportunities that are there? Enhanced learning analytics, like analytics is there. If you see the wastage of time, bringing into systematic processes, that will happen through analytics. And there's this personalized career that it happens. For example, there's a gig economy. There are and they do door shipping, and they are freelancers, so easily they are able to generate an income of 80,000 90,000 per month, just sitting wherever they want to. All that they need is a laptop and a internet connectivity. That's it. Where they are sitting, what they are doing, it is irrelevant. Okay, so that can also be enabled. For example, Google as a workstation, if you see, it is very different from Infosys as a work system. I'm not undermining Infosys, but if you see overall work environment, it is totally different. Okay, yeah. Then real-time feedback is there, right? Effective resource allocations. Whatever resources are there, there will be optimum utilization of those particular resources. Okay, that will happen, right? Yeah. And obviously lifelong learning and upskilling, it will happen, right? Okay, so I have just 5 more minutes to go, so I'll just quickly wrap it up. Yeah, the threat that it is there, obviously job displacement will happen, right? People who are not able to cope up will be left behind. It's not that they will not get proper jobs, they will get the jobs but not as per the pay level, right? For example, why IT employees are paid the highest in any countries? Because they have got an advanced skill set which others don't have. So that is the reason there is a lot of pay disparity which happens, because someone is skilled, who has learned, who has burned midnight oil. That's the reason they are able to get more money, right? Yes. And we will be heavily dependent on technology as such, AI. For example, now I cannot imagine my life without Google Map. Google Map has made us addicted, right? In Bangalore city too, like if I have to tell you, I know the route of my home, but in spite of that, I use Google Maps. Why? Because it will tell me the red line, the orange line, and the blue line, which will help me in making a decision which route to choose to go to my house. I stay in Electronic City, Niladri Road. Always it is jam perfect. Yeah. Okay. Uh, yes. Ma'am, like someone.
Sir, it was really wonderful session, sir. Informative
Yeah,
session
yeah.
also.
I'll stop
Very
it here,
nice, sir.
ma'am. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Now I welcome
Yeah.
Beloved HOD ma'am, Dr. P. Shardamani, deliver the vote of thanks. Welcome you, ma'am.
Thank you, madam. Highly respected today's guest and resource person of 50th day FDP on artificial intelligence in education and business, Dr. Naveen Pal sir, Associate Professor, ISBR Business School, Bangalore, and all other professors and heads of various departments from our institution as well as from other institutions across India, and all my organizing team and the coordinator of this program. Yeah, very good morning to all of you. We are in the concluding part of this 5-day online faculty development. So first of all, I would like to thank the Almighty for making us to uh, make out this 5-day FDP without any problems and other hurdles. Even though we had hurdles, we could come across. And also, I would like to thank our management, particularly Honorable Chairman Sir, esteemed Managing Trustee Ma'am, and Executive Secretary Madam for giving us all the resources and other opportunities and all other supports to make this FDP to happen. I must thank the principal, Dr. A. Ponusami sir, for giving us all the supports and guidance and advices to make these sessions and all other sessions to happen. I must thank all the resource persons like Dr. S. Babudeva Sanavadi, Director, Office of Student Affairs from CMR University, Dr. S. Vinod, Professor, CMS Business School, Jain University, Bangalore, and Dr. Paresha, Professor, Roy School of Management Studies from Roy University, and Dr. Azar Sir, Associate Dean, Research and Consultancy from Kirloskar Institute of Management, Pune. Uh, and also our today's resource person, vibrant speaker. Actually, it's a very great session I had today. I must be thankful to Lakshmi Madam to introduce two guests, Azar sir as well as Naveen Pal sir for this 5 days FDP. Thank you so much, ma'am. And also all the professors and other faculty members who took part in this 5 day online faculty development to enable you to cope up with all the updations as well as the knowledge and in order to share with all the students. So, and also I must thank all the organizing committee members and the coordinator, Dr. S. Sugandhi Madam, for making this event to happen. Once again, I thank you all for being with us on all these 5 days to make this FDP a successful one. Thank you so much. Sir, I have to thank you for your wonderful speech with a lot of informations as well as live examples with us. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much,
Thank
sir.
you, ma'am. It's an honor, ma'am. Thank you very much for inviting me.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Participants, you just fill up the certificate link and you will be getting your certificates within a week time. Thank you.
Thanks,
Wish
ma'am.
you all happy Pongal. Wish you all happy Pongal because in Tamil Nadu we are all celebrating Pongal right from today. So wish you all happy Pongal and great day ahead. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, everyone. Happy Pongal to everybody. Yes.
Thank
Yes,
you,
sir.
sir.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Yes.